Welcome to the Undressing Room podcast presented by Macys with host me, the beautiful L'Oreal, and the show-stopping Dominique the Diva. Now, we have so much to undress because it went down this week. I mean, we have the Grammys, who was snubbed, who got laced, who made history. L'Oreal, what you talking about this week?
Listen, I definitely want to talk a little bit about the Black Bachelor. Y'all know that that's a show that I've been following for a while. And racist ass Rachel.
Is that what we call her now?
Racist Rachel.
I had to. I mean, we gotta dig all into that. And you know, I have plenty of opinion on her.
And speaking of digging all into stuff, let's get into somebody else's family drama because Kurt Franklin spazzed out on his son for putting all of their drama all over the place. We have to undress that, as well as J-Lo and A-Rod. Did they split or y'all just in people's business?
That part.
Lastly, though, well, not lastly, but listen, we have to talk about all this plastic surgery on the rise since the pandemic, and I might let you in on a little secret myself.
Oh, really? Ooh. Really? Speaking of secrets, Chloe shares a very heartfelt message to her BFF, who's also her boyfriend and also her baby daddy, Tristan. I think it's absolutely... Huh?
The cheating one?
Oh, we're not into it yet. We're just talking about what we're talking about.
Sorry. Just asking.
And I don't know about you, but Diva, did you see Trey Songz leak a new video showing that he is not worried about COVID? And last but not least, you know, L'Oreal, you have to unpack that question of the day. So let's get up into it. Before you do anything, check out our Macy's personal picks by heading over to Macys.com/the undressing room to find out what we are laced in. So like L'Oreal today, I am dripped in Free People that I got from Macy's. Free People is my favorite designer ever, and it makes me feel cute and sexy. It's like a jumper romper. I'm gonna let you see the moment.
It's so cute.
Thank you.
Perfect. I love that.
So I got that, and then I got some Gucci Bloom because I was almost off of my I was almost out of my perfume, and you know you gotta leave that lingering smell for your man. So you have to have your perfume on deck. What are you guys copping for Macy's this week?
Well, you got me extra excited that it's spring. Okay, spring is like my favorite season, especially when it comes to all of the florals that you can wear and all of the prints. I'm so here for it. So Macy's definitely has the essentials to gear up for sunny days and all that outside time that we're trying to get in. Safely, of course, and you can find like the perfect floral scents to go along with all of your wear. And of course, they have that ninja blender because they got that smoothie weather is coming. Waist needs to stay snatched, so get your smoothies popping off.
Girl, you look good.
Macy's knows what's up.
What about you, L'Oreal? What you copping for? I think you got Macy's drip on right now.
Well, you did talk about them ninja blenders and, you know, getting into shape and all that good stuff. So I've been doing it with my workout wear. So I definitely go and get my Nike. I got my Nike on right now. So I'm going to the gym right after this. I got it from Macy's, and they have a bunch of like Adidas, a bunch of sportswear. So I definitely love to make sure I get my workout wear from Macys.com. And sometimes I get a bit lazy. I don't want to go to the store. And of course, with COVID and all that stuff, so I like to get it delivered straight to my house. And they even have speed delivery with DoorDash. So I love last minute shopping like that.
Yes, come on. Shout out to Macy's.
And it's even better when you don't have to spend your own money. So make sure y'all keep listening.
Oh, that means we can spend Dominique's. Okay.
Keep listening. And we have your chance to win a $250 Macy's gift card.
Say it again. I don't think that heard you. Say it for the people in the back, Diva.
$250. I said $250.
Okay. That's like pop. Like
speaking of $250, how much did they drop on the Grammys last weekend? So the Grammys went down. Considering that there's a pandemic, obviously it was done a lot differently, but Beyonce and Jay-Z slid up in that thing. Now, a lot of people speculated and thought that, you know, Beyonce and Jay-Z would not actually come to the Grammys this year, but not only did they slide in there, Beyonce took home the most awards awarded by any female ever in Grammy history, as well as the second youngest child or person, which would be her daughter, the beautiful Blue Ivy, got her Grammy Award for Brown Skin Girls. I am so excited about them. Now, Billie Eilish wins for Record of the Year, but says that Meg Thee Stallion deserved it. Now, I I don't know about you, I thought that was a really dope moment because a lot of times we as consumers watch the Grammys and we know what we listen to all year. We know what albums popped. And then we look at the nominations and you're like, hold on, wait, who?
We're like, where's Lil Baby?
No, but
That
Billie
part.
Eilish hold it down for a while. She's all over the radio. And the only thing I didn't like about this is, girl, don't be trying to fake ass give me the award because you're not really gonna give it to me. You're gonna say you really deserve this. But first and
Right.
foremost, I'd like to thank my
No,
mom.
for real.
Because
I'm
it
like,
was
girl,
better than Kanye West jumping up on the stage and being like, Meg Thee Stallion had the dopest album.
You gotta be
that was like my favorite moment.
Yeah, but when Adele gave it to Beyonce, like she's like, "No, come up here. No, I'm not taking this. This is really for you." So I don't know if Billie Eilish meant it, but I definitely love Billie Eilish. I don't know if you got a
Yes,
chance
I
to check
love
out her
her.
performances. Her voice is just like a mixture of.
I mean,
She's
and
like
speaking
the
of epic
Dusty Taylor Swift.
performances, I must say, I have a newfound respect for Lil Baby. Now, I already thought he was dope. I caught him a couple years ago at Birthday Bash. And I thought he was really dope. But the way he used his platform on Grammy night brought out the one and only Tamika Mallory talking about Until Freedom and really using that platform to shed light on the ills and the brutality that we face as Black and brown people by the hands of the police, and did it in such a beautiful way. Oh my God. Ding, ding, ding. Do your ding, ding, ding thing.
Ding, ding,
L'Oreal,
ding.
ding, ding,
Listen,
ding.
I don't
for
have
Lil
it.
Baby.
She doesn't have it today.
Sorry.
Anybody that knows me know I love me some Lil Baby. I don't know if it's a little bit biased because his real name is Dominique, and Dominiques just do everything great.
Is it really fun
Yes,
fact?
and he's born in December, just like me. So he's a Sag, he's a hustler, he's a go-getter, and it was a great performance. And I feel like Tamika Mallory said something that stuck out to me. She was like, "We don't need allies, we need accomplices, okay? We need people in there going to bat for us when it's really time to go to bat." So just like Rihanna said, pull up. If you really about that life any other time, pull up.
She's so dope. I just don't like that right now. Tamir Rice, his mother, is actually calling out Tamika Mallory and certain people that performed at the Grammys, basically saying they were clout chasing. And, you know, she's saying that they haven't lost anything. She lost her 12-year-old son. If y'all remember, this was back in 2014 when her son was murdered by the police. And he, again, like I said, he was 12 at the time. So she's like, you know, F the Grammys. I just, you know, I miss my son. But she definitely called them clout chasers. Do you think that that's clout chasing, raising awareness? Is she just hurt right now?
I mean, I can appreciate, I can't even imagine being a parent that lost my child to some kind of brutality in this fashion. I don't think that my head would be sitting on my shoulders correctly. But, you know, my heart goes out to Tamika Mallory because you see some stuff on social media and the TV, but the mountains that she climbs every single day for our community, those are the things you don't see. I've known Tamika for quite some time. She spoke back at the Revolt Music Conference 6-7 years ago. I first introduced to her by Andre Harrell, and she has been on the ground trying to make change for quite some time. And she put up a post on Instagram that said, you know, she's got a lot of backlash about the way that the baby's performance opens with basically a reenactment of someone getting shot, and saying, was that too jarring for the audience? And it's funny that we thought it was so jarring, but we don't find it jarring when it's 1 year later and Breonna Taylor's has not been vindicated or has not seen justice. And all this time later, I mean,
plays the videos over and over.
Right. How many times did we have to watch George Floyd's for that 8 minutes over and over and over?
So I think that I get it. It's like there's hurt there, but I think the anger is maybe misdirected. And I also feel like Tamika has faced a lot of things, like she gets death threats. She
all the time.
That's what I wanted to say.
She's went to jail numerous times, you know, and this is for fighting for others, for us, you know. So I think that maybe like let's join together. Maybe I'm hoping, God willing, they could sit down together and they can talk instead of it being hurt. But big shout out to her.
Yeah, the last thing I want to say about that before we move on, people have to be careful about that word clout. It's not. It doesn't apply to everything. Tamika Mallory, she doesn't need clout at this time, at this
She's
juncture
not
in her
looking for
career as
clout
an
at all.
actress.
She's looking
Clout
for
is something
change.
beneficial for someone. It's some type of attention that they're trying to draw you over. So I do think that, like you said, her anger is just misplaced at this time.
And it's
But I
so
know,
easy to change the narrative. You know what I mean? To take our focus off of what it is we're really striving for,
right?
entertain it like the way Gail did the Kobe Bryant interview. And it was
Yeah.
like, hold on, wait, are we talking about his legacy, or I mean, what are we
What are we
talking
talking
about
about?
here?
But anyway,
So
Right.
I
L'Oreal, tell
appreciate
us what we're talking about next.
so what we're talking about next. I mean, this is all up your lane, L'Oreal. So I know you have to take the lead on this because you are a Bachelor fanatic.
All right. So I don't like The Bachelor, but The Black Bachelor is something that I definitely tune into. So it was hard for me to kind of compare because I do kind of wish I saw maybe another season of, even if it was like The Bachelorette, because I didn't know if it was just like thirst going on or if he was supposed to be kissing everybody like how he was. But one thing that did stand out this season, and we talked about it on another episode, was the Rachel girl from this season who was actually caught at an antebellum party. It was old pictures, old 2018, which is not that old, sis. But
Right.
either way, she dressed up, and that's supposed to be pre-slavery. During slavery time that they reenact or whatever the case. So basically, of course, that one won. Of course, the racist one would win. So Matt James, the Bachelor, ended up picking her, but he had said before he even picked either one of the women.
And let's be clear, she's white.
White. Yeah.
She's
she
white and
wasn't.
he's black.
Right. And so is his mom. His mom is white. He's half white, half black. But he was
Black.
basically saying that he didn't feel right within him engaging either one of them, proposing to either one of them. So there was already some doubt there. But I think it was crystal clear when they decided to get a black man to host the final rose ceremony. When I looked at that and they got rid of the Chris Hansen dude for whatever that time was or whatever his name is, I looked at it like he has to be picking the racist one because there has to be some kind of balance, right?
Yeah, I knew
So, yeah, so he actually broke up with her though. So Matt James said that he did not want to deal with this whole racist stuff, that she had to take the time and to go do the homework by herself. But he basically was like, I'm not going to take the battle for you. Do you think he was wrong or right for that? And now also, y'all, he got a full-blown beard. Like, he looks like he's from Philly, so you know he's trying to get him assisted now.
He's appealing to his black side.
That's what he has to after he's seen that. He said he was heartbroken. So do you think he took the right choices by, turning around and leaving her after the whole season ended?
I suppose she can't be trusted.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those situations where I don't know if he was privy to what happened years ago, and knowledge is power. And I think it's kind of like once you know, you have to do differently. Like if he didn't know and he was just going off of the representation that she displayed in the first couple of weeks, it might have been beautiful. But then when you start to get to know someone's past and their history and their patterns, and you take away this facade that they're putting on for a TV show, and you get to know like, oh, this is how you get down. It is very easy to be like, you know what? I'm cool on that. And in today's climate, with racial tension being at an all-time high, with the ability to speak out as Black people about the ills of the world without feeling shame, with our heads held high, he had a duty. He had an absolute responsibility. And I don't care which one of his parents is Black, but he has a responsibility to that parent to make sure that he did his job. Yes, he has a platform. And so kudos to the Black Bachelor for doing what he was supposed to do.
I thought this season was really good. Like when he had his father come on the show, he was an African man. And then I seen his white mother, and then his brother came and he had the grill and the braids, and he's a rapper. And then this one went to Yale. I was like, what?
Come on,
this
Range.
is a very bunch. Like, how did
It's
they
very
even-
American.
Very Americanized, very realistic. I think that's a great question, though. Like, could you date a guy of another race if you found out he had a racist past?
No,
Because people are also asking with the whole Cheryl Underwood and situation with The View this week, like, okay, she's just defending her friend, but if your friend is a racist or something like that, if you defend them, are you just defending your friend or are you defending racism? Like, it gets the line.
And
Really,
think about it as friends, like girlfriends. Like I could be your best friend, but if you do something wrong, I'm gonna say, boo, that was wrong. And so, I mean, I think that they know they did wrong over there at the talk because they're on an unprecedented hiatus. No one's back. And shout out real quick to Cheryl Underwood, because if Cheryl Underwood with the person, the cousin that I know would have let her have it. The evolution of this Black woman understanding the power and the strength she is as a queen and trying to explain to these people the truth of our ills without frustration. I think she did a stellar job.
I think so too. I hope that God blesses me with that and that can be in my journey.
Exactly. But I don't want to get an unexpected hiatus because my show went crazy. That I don't want.
Didn't Kelly Osbourne say something too that had got her kind of out of there when she No, that's the daughter.
Canceled.
That's the daughter. Yeah, she did say something.
They both. I think they both had a little controversy. And she actually was on. What was the name of the show? It was Joan Rivers.
It was the Fashion Police. I used to be on that show with Joan Rivers.
So what happened? Do you remember? I know she said something that was racially.
Yes, fueled. It was something that was a little more insensitive and didn't consider others. I can't even remember exactly what it was, but then she quickly came back and she did a heartfelt apology and she cried and she never meant to do anything like that. She loves people of all colors. She has and did all that good stuff. But, a few years later, here goes her mom. So I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Right. What about a racist parent? Because I've had friends that for instance, I could think of one friend in particular who her father to me was a little bit racist. And even though he treated everybody nice and whatever the case, he would say these little comments.
Yeah,
and to be real with y'all, I feel like my father was racist. He's Puerto Rican. I feel like
other people?
Towards anybody that wasn't Puerto Rican. I feel like Puerto Rican, Dominican, I'm not going to stereotype and say all of them, but there is a heavy amount of population of the Spanish community that are pretty racist, Cubans, I feel like too. It's
is it racist or is it colorist? Because colorism is a very real thing. And it's
racist.
If you're the lighter Puerto Rican, if you're a lighter Dominican, if you're a lighter Cuban, then you fall in one category. But if you're darker, then you fall in the other category.
Oh, that's the thing too. But no, it's black. If you're black, if you're white, if you're it's something to say. They'll stereotype.
But if you're Puerto Rican and you Dominican, you black. So I'm so confused.
But Puerto Ricans and Dominicans don't like each other. They have an ongoing thing. And then think about Dominicans.
Crips and Bloods.
I don't know this.
Lord have mercy.
I'm not privy to this.
This has been an ongoing thing, but it's also an old school thing. My father was older. So there is a lot of things. Even if you look at the school, right, the other day, the high school where the guy's mic was off and he was they're nailing these N-words. There's a lot of things that people say behind closed doors that are older or whatever the case, that this is just what times they lived in and what they were taught when they were younger.
Very true.
And then they end up teaching it to their kids. And as the Bible said, you train up a child the way he shall go.
They end up
when
on
he's
The Bachelor.
He will not depart from it, which is why you see this from Sharon and then this from Kelly. And my question is, do you accept her apology? Do you accept Sharon Osbourne's apology for what was said?
I don't accept any of their apologies. Rachel's, the commentator, Sharon's. I look at it you said what you said. You're only sorry that people feel a way about you now because you said how you felt. That's just stand behind what you say. I like that better.
Yeah. All right, here's another topic that we must undress right now, and it has to do with family issues, and we all have them, but Kirk Franklin's family issues seem a lot more, pretty toxic. Now, it's all because of his son, Kerrion, is that how we say his name? Kerrion Franklin.
Kerrion has been carrying on.
Kerrion is carrying on it at his big age. At 33 years old, he has leaked audio of an argument that he had with his father, Kirk Franklin, where they had some, choice of words, including threatening to break his neck.
Off a piece of paper. Okay, if you think I'm reading this paper, let me say it like this. When your ass starts getting disrespected, you need to get your skinny motherfucking ass back out the damn way before I put my foot in your ass. Because I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. Shut the up. I'm old.
Sir, I will fight
You're mad. Don't you ever disrespect me.
I didn't. He just hung up the phone. I'll break your neck. Is that a threat?
Ooh, in the name of Jesus.
That sound like the beginning. Yeah, it sound like the beginning of the stop record.
Going nowhere.
But he be like,
If you think that
Revelations
gospel music has gone too
2000.
far, if you think we've gotten too radical, I've got news for you.
I just want him to keep cursing. I love it.
I love
Where's
it.
the
Just
rap
like
song?
Just like when Beyonce curses. I don't know why. I just be like, oh, yes, talk that. Well,
like
meanwhile, that's not how we typically hear Kirk Franklin. And so he did take the time to apologize to his fans on social media on late Saturday night.
Many of you know I have an older son named Kerryon Franklin. For many years, we have had a toxic relationship with him as a family. We've tried for many years through counseling, through therapy, to try to rectify this private family matter. Recently, my son and I had an argument that he chose to record. I felt extremely disrespected in that conversation, and I lost my temper. And I said words that are not appropriate. And I am sincerely sorry to all of you. I sincerely apologize.
Oh, well, that sounded
GP, you
sincere.
with
So,
me? Go ahead, back.
you hold Kirk Franklin on a higher pedestal because he performs in the Christian category.
Kirk Franklin came out and told the whole world that he has a whole sex addiction and is addicted to porn. Like, he made it very clear that he's human and he uses out of the same hole that all of us do a very long time ago. So I am not surprised.
You missed that, L'Oreal?
Yeah, I didn't know that he had a sex addiction and all
Porn
this
addiction.
Stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean,
porn addiction, same
kind
thing,
of like
right?
sex addiction too.
Kinda.
But yeah, he came out with his wife and he apologized. So I think it's time for us to start looking at leaders, just like Bill Clinton getting, fellatio in the Oval Office. Like, he's a human. He's a man. He's a person. He's a father with a son that is not the easiest to get along with. He's an adult, and they had a heated conversation. I don't think that, personally, I don't think that Kirk Franklin owed any of us an apology at all. I think the son was completely out of pocket for recording the conversation. But furthermore, I don't know about y'all, but me nor any of my brothers have any of these kind of conversations with our parents. Like, we don't talk to our moms and dads like that. So where is the disconnect? Because there's something that's way beyond.
Well, it seems like it's been going on for a while. His sisters were also saying something about, maybe he's just kind of taking advantage of way too many things and gotten cut off in the meantime, more so recently. But Kerryon did respond back with an IG post saying, "Please do not crucify my father. I am not here to bash him across the board. I didn't even cuss in the recording. Why do people assume I did something to deserve verbal abuse? I just said what he said back to me. My father has been speaking very mean and manipulative to me for 15 years now." So I think they need to just
and he has more video. They're saying that this other video that he has, that Kirk Franklin actually is putting hands and feet on him. He's stomping on him. I don't know. He told him if he keeps threatening to say that he's done nothing wrong and things of that nature, that he was going to release more footage, and saying that they could charge him with battery. So what do you think about it turning physical though? What about the physical aspect of it? I understand the verbal. Yes, we can all get upset and we say things we don't mean, but like putting hands and feet, what y'all think?
Well, at what point do you I know this is your parent, but there is a point in your life as an adult where you have to draw your line between what you will and will not deal with. And if it comes from a relative, a loved one, or whatever. So where is the line? Just draw the line and decide to disconnect until you guys can have a reasonable and amicable relationship. Because the reality is Kirk Franklin will not live forever. Neither will Kerryon. So they should let themselves calm down and get to a place where they can reconcile.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes it's not that easy.
Sometimes it seems like this is a lot of details that we probably don't even have. But I mean, it sounds great, but it just seems like they're so far from that. And so it's a lot to dig into. I just don't know why he felt the need to post it on the internet. You guys are recording each other, and he says Kirk has, filings and recordings of him as well, but we didn't hear those. And I think it's just most important here that your family drama stays in your house. My grandma would say, don't come out here bringing shame to the name.
Okay, what happens in my house
stays in my
in
house.
my
But
house.
sometimes people feel like it's their last resort. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, say they're trying to reach out and there's no other way. The internet will definitely make sure you could get somebody to respond. And I'm not saying it's okay, but that's something that you know is always going to work. I know I had a conversation a while back with Queen Naja, and she had something going on between her and her child's father. And she ended up coming on social media and being like, I need
Where's
my
my
son,
kid?
whoever has
Yeah.
my son come. So I asked her, I said, do you feel like that was the right way to go about it? And she said, yes, because there was no other way for me to get in contact. So this was my only route. This is my son. So I understood it when it
I
came.
understand that. And I also understand why he should get his ass whooped. Because
that part. Okay, but you know what? You know me, the
Yeah.
sunflower over here, trying to find the silver lining in everything. If we can take anything away from this, I think we can take away that people are people. We all have issues. No one is perfect. It doesn't matter if you're a pastor. Doesn't matter if you've been in the limelight for a long
They the worst
time.
ones. That's why they sometimes get saved, is because of the life that they went through.
And wounds are wounds. And until you deal with the wounds that you have, the ill will fester. And so I think that this reminds the rest of the world that they too are normal, and that maybe the issues that they're going through are not isolated and singular. But, you know, hey, if Kirk Franklin, who is melodies from heaven raining down on me, is cussing on me, then, you know, I think we all regular now.
Put your hands together.
I'd rather have curses than silver and gold.
Listen, I'd rather have your
I
foot
think
off
that
my
was
head.
Ply's whole time. Ply said he gonna take the blame
He
for
said it
it.
was
That's
him.
just what it is. Just blame it on him every time, Kurt.
Blame
When
it
the
on him.
video
Okay.
come out.
We need to start. Who we gonna blame this breakup on, L'Oreal? Or even isn't it? I mean, is it a breakup? What's going on with Jay? They call him J Rod, J Lo, and Rod.
Do they put their names together? I don't know about all that just yet. Well, over the weekend, they did have a little incident where they were basically trying to say A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, and J-Lo, they broke up. I think they call them J-Ho. Oh, no, that's not it.
No, don't do that. That was Jamie Foxx in a
What?
You're so
I thought I heard that
petty.
somewhere. Maybe I was wrong.
No.
Either way, they have been together since 2017. They've been engaged for 2 years, but you know that there was some rumors going around saying that A-Rod was actually talking to a reality star, and she's like on a Bravo show called like Southern Charm or something. And supposedly the two of them been texting back and forth. Now these rumors have been swirling, child. So they said that they got what do you call it? They broke up their engagement. There we go. I couldn't think of what the words were. The two of them broke up their engagement. So.
But okay, so I'm hearing conflicting reports because like one day it was like, oh, Jennifer Lopez and A-Rod broke up. And it was like 2 weeks after the inauguration where they were both there together, dripped in Chanel. Right. And then I heard the day after, like, oh, they're not broken up. They're working it out. So what is it? Because I know you know, L'Oreal.
Yeah, so J-Lo definitely took to her social media and she kind of trolled the whole thing. You know what I mean? So she took like the reports that said that their engagement was off, and she kind of made like a sexy video in between it. So people looked at it like she was, you know, being teasingly shutting down the rumors, you know? So I guess they are still together. Could you get over rumors like that though? If you found out that your dude that you were engaged to may be texting a reality star on the side. They say they're just friends, but how do y'all meet? In baseball camp?
Diva?
I could get over it, but maybe she should call Khloe Kardashian and ask her how she gets over her stuff.
I mean,
I don't know that.
Maybe she could ask for advice. I don't know. But I mean, I do think it's funny how, you know, it's so fast. It's so crazy how fast negative news, you know, like you said, Eva, it's like one day they're like, oh, they're done. They're split. It was this girl on the show and they were FaceTiming and that's what it is. And then 2 days later, it's like, no, we're not. We're working through stuff. Well, newsflash, we're all working through stuff. Okay. So it's so crazy how fast, you know, negative news can travel, and then it's like, oh yeah, they're still together. Okay, but we've moved on with the news cycle now and no one cares. So it's just.
But what about the engagement process? Like, do y'all think that there's such thing as being engaged too long? Because they've been engaged for 2 years. We know y'all not saving money. Like,
well, they've been engaged for 2 years, but we've had a pandemic for 1 year, and we're talking about J-Lo and A-Rod. So these are not just two normal, regular people.
Yeah, and Mike could get married in the middle of the pandemic. J-Lo and A-Rod can figure out COVID testing.
Shout out
and,
Cynthia and Mikey with the
Shout out to Cynthia and Mike Hill for the most amazing wedding.
and nobody got COVID from it. Like
No one got COVID. But let me tell you
Okay,
something
even
about my
breathing.
girl, Cynthia Bailey. Cynthia Bailey was not playing about those COVID protocols. Okay. We all got tested. They made the capacity very small. We had masks. There was a whole germ team that had like bio stuff. They didn't show this part on the show, but they were literally bio freezing, cleaning everything there. So they shout out to Cynthia Bailey that still
What's
had
the
a
name of the
perfect day.
company? Can you send it to J-Lo and A-Rod? Maybe they can use.
with that
It's a
COVID
black-owned
budget out.
company.
Well, then they not gonna use it.
That COVID budget about. But I don't know. They both hasn't A-Rod been married before? This isn't their first
I
time.
think they've both been married before, or
Yeah,
at least J-Lo has for sure.
Right. So to answer your question, L'Oreal, I don't think there's a such thing as being engaged too long. If I could get
Really?
I really don't. Like I just don't.
So like 5 years, 10 years, you're like, oh, it's okay. I'm still a fiance.
Yeah, whatever. I still have my own. Yeah, no. I don't
to
see a problem
each
with
his
it.
own. If you are ready for a speedy a wedding and you've been dating for a long time and you're like, let's just jump into this thing, cool. But I mean, a lot of us have our own goals.
2017.
But some people feel like when you get with someone, your goals have to become their goals. And that's not the reality. My goals are mine and yours are yours. And what I have been working on for the last few years, it might take me a couple more years. And I don't have time and energy to stop to try to plan this wedding. Yes, I love you. Yes, we're together. I'm committed. Now, got my ring on. I'm about to go to work.
Yeah.
He's retired and so is she, damn near. How long were you engaged, Eva?
I was engaged. Mike proposed to me on Christmas Day of 2017, and we were married in October of 2018. I was also with child. I was also with child. I had just had his first son, and I already had my daughter. So my situation was a little bit different. We already had a kid together. We were already cohabitating. His mom was Kojic, and my mama was ready for a good party. So it just worked out well for me.
But A-Rod's getting bored because he's texting Bravo reality stars. You
allegedly for all you know. She could have been up in his DM. I love how the men are always blamed. Like, let me tell you something about these females out here. Let me tell you about something about these ladies out here that will mess with their whole best friend's man. Okay, so the women out here are just as foul and sliding in those DMs, L'Oreal, because I'm sure you got some pretty girls in your DMs trying to figure out your kitty too. Why you got all them DMs. Exactly. Men and women are one and the same. So I don't lay all the blame on the men. But just in case y'all didn't know, you are listening to. You're listening. I don't know what.
He's the one in the relationship. That's the only reason why I'm blaming him. She's single.
I don't think he sent the post. I think that she might have hit him up. I'm just saying. Men are not always the guilty party. There are a lot of scandalous women out here. I know
we don't talk about what they have to deal with us.
No. They two could play that game. Two could be trifling, but he's definitely the one that's supposed to be committed.
Okay, well, he knows what commitment looks like. He's been married before. He has 2 daughters. And I just think he's just trying to figure this thing out. And I have no heaven or hell to send them to. And I hope they don't send me to hell for the things that I've done wrong.
Who's to say it's not this little reality show girl trying to get her name?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Because sometimes it can be like, who is this chick out of nowhere? Like, everybody got a story when they feel like you doing good. Like, oh, I texted him one time and he was at Chipotle and then he paid for my stuff. And then, girl, be quiet.
That part.
Amber Rose felt like that about Kim K. She thought she was just some reality chick, and 5 kids later.
Oh Lord! Now I don't know. Y'all are listening to the Undressing Room podcast. You already know it goes down, and it's presented by Macy's. Make sure you subscribe and listen to the Undressing Room podcast wherever you get your podcast, and you can go ahead and check out our Macy's shopping page. That's at Macys.com/The Undressing Room.
the uptick in plastic surgery. So they've been done with this, but it seems like plastic surgeons across the globe are now reporting an unprecedented number of requests for procedures, honey. We've been in a crib. We haven't been denying ourselves Oreos because why would we do that if you can't even go outside during this
Speak for yourself. We is not French.
quarantine? I'm saying we, but I actually mean y'all because I've been snatched. But I'm saying not y'all,
Oreos
as in
aren't
you
French.
too, but as in listeners. People just are now getting their procedures done. They don't have to really return to the office anytime soon, so they're able to, recover a lot easier now from home. It's also easier to keep surgery private. If you're having something done, you can just stay off social media for a little bit. But instead of doing that, I actually got some lipo done, and I told everyone my business. I told everyone my surgeon. I showed everyone everything because, I'm just like that, And
so why'd you get
like,
lipo? What made you decide to, and then that specific procedure? Because that was a little different. You was awake talking to your friend.
Yeah, I would have been scared because you were moving around with instruments in you.
Yes, I was eating fruit snacks and singing Rihanna. It was Rihanna's birthday that day, and I just kept thinking, what will Rihanna do? Rihanna would do whatever when it comes to beauty. But I recently
Why would you
had
eat
a baby
fruit snack instead of a piece of cake? If they're taking it out, you might as well go ahead and eat the cake so he could just suck it right on out.
Eat the cake, Anna Mae.
No,
They
offered
that's why
fruit
she's
snacks.
there.
They offered fruit snacks. That was what I was offered at that time. But I had a baby boy. He's 18 months.
Congratulations.
Thank you, baby Cash. And when quarantine started this time last year, he was about 6 months old. So just imagine being a new mom. You're already I had so much anxiety about cleanliness and germs, and now I have to deal with a pandemic, which I've never lived through. And so I just had a huge transitional moment, adjustment of being home all day with a new baby as a mom, and I have to work. And of course, falling off track with dieting, and I had a C-section.
But let's just be clear: postpartum is real. Okay, if there was no pandemic that existed at all, the amount of weight that we gain having a baby, and then the way that midsection looks after the fact, no one wrote a book on that. No one told us about that.
You're looking at yourself
tell us about it now. How much weight did you gain? If you don't mind.
So I was 150, 155 when I got pregnant, and I had him.
The weight now, I just like how many pounds?
I don't have a problem with sharing whatever.
Okay.
But I was
some people are funny
195
about that.
when I gave birth.
How much did you gain?
About 35 pounds.
Oh, you did good, girl. I gained 75 with 2 of my kids and 92 pounds with 1. So talk about losing some weight, baby. I know. I got
that's right.
Everything was
big. Breastfeeding helps and stuff like that, but I only could do that for a month because it was taking me to a deep, dark place. A fed baby is a happy baby, and that's just that. Doesn't matter which way you go about it. But yeah, it just came to a time where I was like, I really want to get snatched. And I was approached by the Glow Plastic Surgery, just like, hey, check out what we have going on here. And when I went there for my consultation, they told me I could do liposuction and that I could be awake the entire time, and that it would be done within a couple of hours. I was like, whoa, you don't have to be put to sleep anymore. Like, what is this? And so I was so glad that Dr. Santiago was so comforting when it came to answering all of my questions, because y'all know how it is when we go to the doctor.
So you didn't feel anything? Like, how does it work if you're awake?
So what they do is they use local anesthesia. And what I found is local anesthesia means they're just putting the anesthesia, they're just numbing the location that they're working on. So it does feel a bit uncomfortable, when we go get pap smears. It doesn't really hurt, but it's definitely uncomfortable, kind of weird. That's how it felt when they put the local anesthesia on my little fupa. That's what I was getting rid of, my little fupa there under my belly button, because we all know that part is just kind of hard to really
it's stubborn, girl.
So after he put the local anesthesia on there, I was numbed. But what I like about this doctor, and anyone else who's thinking about getting awake lipo, make sure that they wait. So that's when you saw me with fruit snacks. He put the local anesthesia in, and then it was like an hour and a half where I just ate fruit snacks, watched Netflix, FaceTime my friends, and they were like, what are you doing? Because as I was sitting there waiting for that hour, my stomach was kind of getting bigger and bigger, but I couldn't feel it. And that's I was like, oh, that's the local anesthesia. It was completely numb. About an hour later, he came in, went to work. I couldn't feel a thing.
How long did it take?
It took about 2 hours, and I'm just laying there listening to music. Around my belly button area is a little sensitive area, but I was like, hey, I can feel something. And he's like, okay, he can add more local anesthesia. But once you're knocked out, they can't keep adding more. They might not wake up.
You know what?
So
Right.
don't look down. Don't trick your brain out. And it was a great experience. I did share it on my Instagram at Dominique the Diva. But that was just to show women on Women's History Month, women that's had children. We can do whatever we want. They're going to talk about your fupa, or they're going to talk about your six pack. They're going to talk about you regardless. Make sure how you feel about yourself is the best.
Yes. That's
I
all that really
definitely want to
matters.
get a breast reduction surgery. That's
Mhm.
You
what
have huge tits. They
I
look
know, they're
great, but they
so
look
big.
huge.
I'm tired of them. They hurt my back. So I'm like,
You
my
can get them
my
done, right?
yeah, I am gonna get them done. My only thing is I'm a little bit nervous because I know it leaves that lollipop scar. Because and that's one thing I do want to say. Please make sure that you do research and you get somebody that's board certified, double if
Yeah.
possible, because you don't want to just like. I understand that there's people out here that'll do it for $1,000, 15, or
No.
even free, but I'm the kind of person that I rather pay if it's gonna be good work, then I rather pay with it. You know what I mean? I rather
Yeah.
pay top dollars. It's your health. So I have been doing a lot of research. I don't want to get it done and then I'm more uncomfortable than I am now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because right now it's just like I feel weird. Like just wearing anything, it's just like all I have is these big boobs. And no matter how skinny I get, I always look bigger because I have
The
these
boobs.
boobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and like I said, it makes my back hurt. It's not just like I'm like, oh, okay, how do I get my breast to be to my chin? It's not like that. It's
No,
literally
but you
think like
can
if you-
scoop some and give them to me so
you
that I
can
can
have
add
all
to
that
my
you
little
want.
cups over
your
here.
doctor that your back hurts, I think that's when insurance helps a little bit. But people were asking me about my plastic surgery, just getting, lipo on my stomach, and they asked, well, how much does that cost? And I'm like, understand that this is plastic surgery. It is not, covered by any type of insurance unless you're seeking a breast reduction
Yeah,
and
which
you
you can.
express the,
But
uncomfortableness.
most surgeons
But
don't want to take the insurance because they want
yeah,
the money. All I want to say is, Eva, my cup will runneth over into your cups
Come on
if
in here.
you.
I have room and spaces. You see all this? It's room. There's
yes,
so much space for you
If
in
you want-
here.
There you go. I'll give it all to you. Look, I'll mail it or I'll bring it to
I
you.
will take it.
did you
I'm
guys
about
think
giving
that
it
we
all
do these
to
things
you.
for
If
our
Mayhaven
bodies?
let me use DoorDash to just send it on over to you, then we can also do that.
We're gonna get you some boobies. Do you guys think that women do this for ourselves, or do we do this for men? Because I have a news flash for the men, but I want to see what you guys say first.
Well, men, of course, think we do it for them.
Exactly. News flash. We
I do
don't.
it for them. I do it for me.
Exactly. Men,
My
we don't
husband's
wear
so
lashes for
easy.
you. We don't
They
do
love
any
us
of
how
that
we
for you.
are. Think about it. Men, if they had it their way, they would have us take off them bonnets, take off our hair scarf, wipe your face off, pull them eyebrows down, pull off those lashes, and like to see us in a nice pair of yoga pants and a t-shirt. That is their full jam. I have
Right.
3 brothers and a husband, and they all the same exact way.
No
Speaking
man
of
has ever
men,
said, I love your lashes.
A guy will
exactly.
hump a fleshlight. So don't worry, ladies. Look good for yourself. Don't
Do
worry
it for
about what
you.
don't worry
Do it
about
for you and not for him. Speaking of doing it for you, I have to talk about Khloe Kardashian. She said,
No.
"Forget the rest of the world. I am doing it for me." She shares a beautiful message. She says a beautiful message for her boyfriend, her BFF, her baby daddy, her
Ooh, she got a
everything,
new boo?
Tristan Thompson. So
Him again.
him again. So he recently turned 30. Welcome to the dirty. Damn, he did all that before 30.
Wow.
Welcome to the dirty 30s, Tristan.
Right.
Well, Khloe, who was 36,
30 is
tweets
right.
and she said an amazing tweet. She says, "The ones that are meant to be are the ones who can go through everything that is designed to tear them apart, and they still come out even stronger than they were before. Thank you for showing me everything you said you would, for the father you are, and for the best friend I have in you." Now, many people are calling Khloe a clown for calling out Jordan Woods, yet she still wants to be with Tristan.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys think? Because friends have told media that Khloe and Christian are good. They're spending time together, and word on the curb is they are planning to move forward and having another baby. So, do you think this is a case of girl, Khloe, wake up, or is this a case of things happen, you can get over them, love conquers all things, and let's support their relationship? I'm gonna ask you last, L'Oreal, because I already know.
I'm like, I don't even got nothing to say. with
Diva,
that.
what you think?
I don't know. Khloe is 36. He's done a lot before 30. And I think when you're dating a younger man who's also a basketball player, listen, girl, Okay, situations are going to happen. You knew what it was when you showed up. That's also why you're there. So, I mean, at the same time, I'm like, well, if you're not going to put up with it, I don't know why you would date someone of his stature, because you're going to have to put up with something. But I do think that going through things together and someone putting you through some BS are two different things. So, I don't
But do
know.
you think the media hypes that though? Like, if there was, think about it, if there were no social media and no cameras, would that instance or situation or party with Jordan Woods and Tristan even be something we're talking about?
No,
Shout out
but
my girl Lonnie Blair, who he was caught with leaving a hotel with a few weeks before that Jordan situation even happened. And he was courting her for a while, to my understanding. But hey, Lonnie girl.
Hey, Lonnie,
So
and I was more
pretty.
so thinking about the camera footage from the hookah bar, Donna down in the DMV, or him motorboating.
Donna too. Shout out
That
to
was-
her.
The motorboating video footage. That
Boats
was
and hoes.
Boats and hoes. Boats
You
and
know,
hoes.
And another lady in Boston, like, Tristan gets down how he gets down. But I do think that, when it comes to the
my
Jordan
head.
Woods situation, that it could have been some type of apology there. It's really awkward now because I didn't like that day how it just seemed like they were kind of
They
like kinda
canceled
bullying
her.
Jordan, and how the community had to come behind Jordan and say, now hold on.
It worked
now.
out
You
for
know what I
her,
mean?
child.
So I do
she's
think
good.
It took a red table talk to straighten this stuff
Okay,
out.
and she tweeted to Jordan. She's 36 years old. She tweeted to Jordan Woods, "You ruined my family." Like, no, that right there.
I think that at that time they were all hurt. I personally believe that men do mature after time, after experience, after loss. Time has passed. We've had a whole pandemic. Think about it. 2.6 million people have died in the past year because of the pandemic. Over 600,000 have died in the US alone. If there is anything to wake your butt up and remind you that life is short and hold on to what really matters, this is the year. And so maybe Tristan had a change of heart. What do you think, L'Oreal?
I think that he couldn't go nowhere this year, so he couldn't cheat. Like,
she wants a baby.
You were chained to the bed. You couldn't go nowhere. Then when you went to work, you can't go nowhere. You can't even go out to eat playing with the Celtics.
Oh, he didn't cheat because he couldn't cheat.
Oh yeah, he couldn't. What he was gonna do? You got to get with the COVID testing. You got to be careful. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just have people around. And with the NBA, their rules, you got to be careful with that.
So what happens if he does it again? Like, just say if he does it again and Chloe is your friend, because it's like you have a friend that decided to keep her man, and we all know what happened. So the next go around, am I supposed to react? Like, how does a friend act?
A grown friend stays out of their friend's man's business. I tell you that. As a almost 40-year-old woman married with friends that are married, you stay your ass all the way out of somebody else's relationship and business unless you want to go over there and pay their mortgage and car note.
Send her the link though, like if it pop up again on TMZ, like yo.
I mean, think about it. If you saw your friend's guy out, like if you're out in the streets, right, and you saw your friend's guy out, would you then pick up the phone and be like, "Oh, girl, I just saw your man"? Like, what do you do? As a mature grown woman,
I would record it if it's my best friend.
Oh my God.
If it's my best friend.
Eva, if you see my man out with a girl and you don't tell me, I'm
gonna go up to him and I'm gonna sock him. That's different. If I see your man out, because you my woody, so that's a whole nother. Another situation.
You gotta kidnap him or something. You can't just let this fly.
I'm gonna put him on TikTok so fast.
All right, y'all. You're listening to the Undressing Room podcast presented by Macy. Now make sure you subscribe and listen to the Undressing Room podcast wherever you get your podcast, and make sure you check out our personal Macy's shopping page at Macys.com/the Undressing Room.
All right, so are we gonna get into this Trey Songz situation? It's kind of sticky.
What is it? Does it involve another one of his members?
No, it involves saliva. Okay.
Oh God, what happened this time? I'm so scared.
Mr. Neighbors know his name himself. His new video of Trey Songz dripping saliva into the mouths of two women, and Trey had previously contracted COVID in October, but the video appears to be a music video.
Hold on, he did what?
The ladies are licking each other's tongues, and then Trey's saliva drips in between their tongues.
Like a loogie.
And should that be COVID? I'm pretty sure there probably are COVID guidelines for a music video.
What was that set? You need to call the union and the Better Business Bureau. That is unsanitary. Where's the health board? Dr. Anthony Fauci, hello.
What's going on with Trey Songz lately? Like, when did he become this, like, I don't want to say perv, but like not a perv, but like he keeps doing creepy, weird stuff lately. And don't get me wrong, some people like spit and all that. Like spit is okay if you're, but
if it's already in your own mouth, if it's yours, like if it's your Dana, but if it's someone else's Dana, no.
And then they were kissing, so he like spit in their mouths from the exactly
pre-COVID. This is nasty, but then post.
Oh, it was before COVID.
No, it's like it was now. But I'm just saying, you think about two different times, like, and it's still a no both times, pre and post for me.
As far as OnlyFans, right? They're saying that he's doing like this OnlyFans. He's making all this money off of it, so it must be working for him. But like, has anybody ever tried to spit in your mouth?
No,
I'm not
because I would be on the news, would have socked them in their face. Spit in someone's mouth, that is disgusting. One of the things you never do, you don't touch someone unless you want to get hit, and you don't spit unless you want to get slapped. Like those are
like, I feel like rules. Did I ever do this? Like I can't remember. Maybe I was drunk one night and maybe I let my ex do it, but not like that. Like it's different.
No, that's hood code. Like
you're not gonna hot spit. But you don't think when you're doing other things, like if spit was to go somewhere else, is that okay?
Yeah, because it's to moisturize the areas. It's to moisturize the areas,
I definitely use spit, and maybe it'll drip down.
Why is it okay for you to spit on it,
but not in my mouth?
Not that mouth, though. Don't.
Ain't it going in your mouth?
Not in my mouth. No.
This is the last
thing not going in your mouth.
Put some clothes back on, Laura. You just undressed every time.
Do you guys think celebrities are getting out of hand, like the pandemic is over?
Well, I do think, considering the way people are in Atlanta during the All-Star weekend, we have gotten the idea that because certain cities are gradually opening, that COVID is over. It's not over. I do applaud all of those that have taken their vaccines seriously and really trying to help turn this curve. But remember, you guys, we are still in the middle of a pandemic. Even if you and your mom got your COVID-19 vaccine shots, both doses of it, you're not COVID free or clear until 2 weeks after that. And even still, you have to wear a mask. So no, it's not over. And please stop acting like it, because I got 3 kids and I will fight anybody that gets them sick.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say that I just wish that certain media outlets would reinforce that, because I feel like they're spreading this word of like certain experts that are saying, okay, by summertime we're going to be good. So I feel like when you keep pushing that narrative, people are like, well, that means we're good now. And then you have places like Memphis and I think it was Texas. And that took back the mask mandate, basically saying that it's a choice of yours to wear the mask, not an obligation. So when it's things like that going on, you have to ask, like, okay, I understand why people are confused or why they think the pandemic is over when these states and things of that nature are saying.
But let's clarify that, though. For Texas specifically, let's clarify. So in Texas, they lifted the required mask mandate, but that did not mean that Texas is now free to just walk around without a mask. That's not what that means. That means that businesses are still allowed to use discretion. 99.9% of them still are not open at full capacity and are still requiring masks and temperature check. What it doesn't allow you to do is get arrested for not wearing a mask. So it's no longer a federal law. And those are the differences. Lifting that law does not mean that everyone's out there like, hey, it's freaking. No, it just means that you won't get arrested because the cab driver said, get out of my cab for not wearing a mask.
Yeah. I think both of you guys just made the same point, because basically L'Oreal was saying it can be confusing. The states are saying one thing, local businesses are saying this, the blogs are saying one thing, Trey Songz spitting in someone's mouth. I don't know what to do. Where's my stimmy? For real, where's the stimmy?
Pass the stimmy.
Listen,
Honey back
got crab legs hopping out the sea, baby. The crab legs are hiding up under every rock.
Okay,
because, baby, grilling out here.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna get into a final question to undress. Now, this weekend, a tweet went viral where a woman complained that her friend's boyfriend didn't pay for her food and drinks when they were all out to eat. Now, she said, we went to a basic ass restaurant yesterday, and my girlfriend invited her dusty ass boyfriend to join us.
Ooh.
I had 2 $5 Moscow mules, crab and artichoke dip, and my total was $24.58. And this man gonna go and tell the waitress, 2 checks, please. So do you think you expect your friend's man to pay the tab, or do you think your man should pay the tab for you and your friends?
Sis,
if he's
if
my
you want,
man, he
just
better.
say that, sis. If you wanted a free meal, just say that. Why are you mad? Why are you dusty because he didn't pay for you? Now I understand what she's saying. It was $24. He could have paid it, but also she could have.
And that's not her man. At what point do you think that my man is obligated to do anything for you? I'll give you a good story.
No.
My birthday 4 years ago, LA Mastros. I go out there.
Different.
No.
We
did a big brunch.
$50 drinks.
At Mastros, we did a huge brunch, and they knew that my man is Mike from Atlanta, and he's in law. He got a couple coins. So the bill came back $1,600, and everybody got to coughing and looking around. I was like, ma'am, if you don't pull out your wallet, because my husband's not paying, and he was my boyfriend at the time, he's not paying for you guys. It's my birthday. What makes you think that he's supposed to pay for? That's my man.
Everybody.
That's crazy to me. I would not expect if I came to the DMV for your man, Dominique, to pay for my food just because I'm your homegirl. That's crazy.
I feel like it would be nice, but I don't feel like he's obligated to. So for her, you know what I mean? You want the internet tweeting because my man didn't pay for your $24 bill. Sis, get you a man. I don't know what you want me to say. Like it would be nice, but he is not obligated.
No, I feel like if you ask me to come out with you and it's me and you girl time, and then you invite your boyfriend, he better pay my $25 bill, because I'm going to tell you why, because I have $25 time.
Why'd you invite him?
You get what I'm, why did you invite him? This was our time, girl time.
I know, but sometimes your man slide through. It be like that.
Alone.
But my man wouldn't slide through unless he was going to pay for it. How would you have girl time?
Exactly.
Whatever.
Why would you force me to be a third wheel and then get mad to pay for my happy hour drinks? This hour isn't happy anymore because now he came and we can't talk.
No, it's just not happy because you're a hater homegirl who already didn't like my man. So you made it saucy to begin with, and then you thought I was going to use my hard-earned money to buy dusty ass drinks.
With your friend, and with your boyfriend, and 9 times out of 10 you done told me about how he cheated on you 50 million times, and now I gotta sit in his face and see him be broke.
So who's stupid, her or the boyfriend?
I would have left as soon as the boyfriend came.
Yeah, like if you're saying that we're supposed to have girl time and now you've invited him, that is breaking like girl.
That's whack. Like
$24. Like this is way too much for $24.
That's what I'm saying. I could see if this was like $200 bill, then it is what it is. He could be courteous enough to be like, you know what? Here, I got your drinks. Don't worry about it.
Pay for your
$25. All she has to do is tell her friend after the fact, look, I don't like your man showing up on girls' night. It's girls' night, not everybody night. And if he is going to show up, the minimum he could do is slide a drink. Now, don't get me wrong. I have my own money. I'm going to pay. But going forward.
Yeah.
And then, but not put it all on social media and talk about this woman's man like that. That's whack.
Yeah.
That was funny, but I don't know. I don't mess with guys that do stuff like that.
It's
like
a
I
weird
wouldn't.
situation.
Never.
I'm sorry, Loria.
Go.
What do you guys think about like a couple being out, like having a good time, right? Whatever. And then like say like a mutual friend like L'Oreal, or even maybe you see like a old colleague or whatever comes and like pays you and your man's tab. You and your man's tab.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't say anything. Like the man doesn't go man to man and say, "Oh, thanks, bro." Like how does a man feel about another man paying a tab for him and his lady? Because I've seen that situation before, and it was getting kind of awkward because the other man never said thanks for paying for me and my wife.
I've had like bottles sent over. Like my husband won a case. I remember we were in Mississippi, and he won a really big case, and we were celebrating. And then someone who knew about the case was excited and sent over a bottle of champagne. We were like, thanks.
Yeah.
And then we drank it.
What about paying the bill? Taking care of the bill for you guys. Would that have been the same? Like, oh, thanks.
I mean, you pay it and leave. I don't feel like you sit around and wait to get thank you. But I will say, as far as the bottle, one time I was out with my friend, and it was me, her, and a guy that she was dating or whatever, and he paid the bill and we were all fine. But anyway, so when we were sitting at the table, actually a guy that I was talking to paid the bill for everybody. But now that I think about it, when we were sitting at the table, somebody sent over a bottle when it was just the three of us at the time. And when he sent the bottle over, my homegirl guy was like, no, he sent it back. And I was like, that was rude because ultimately the guy was a fan, you know what I mean? And he was just trying to show his love for me and my homegirl.
Yeah.
And I told him, so I went and apologized to the guy. Didn't know who the guy
that's
was.
Nice.
Yeah, I went and apologized because I'm like, if he was a fan trying to show love, like he wasn't being disrespectful. He sent the bottle with 3 glasses for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
So but I get how it could feel as a man where you're like, oh, this is trying to flex on me.
Right. And you got to let him know this ain't that. This ain't that. This is just someone showing love. Be able to embrace it.
Nice. Yeah.
Accept
but she did
love.
blast him for no reason. She shouldn't have took that to social media. She should have took that up with her homegirl if she had an issue. And like I said, I just wouldn't deal. Me personally, if I tell you to come meet me and I'm with a guy, he's definitely going to pay. That doesn't mean get caviar and bottles. You know, get what you would have regularly gotten. Right. But like, I feel like as a gentleman, if you have it and can afford it, it's fine to pay $30 from my friend's drink.
And sometimes they don't have it. And I think that's the whack part. Like we expect that everyone has all this big chunk of cash. The pandemic hit all of us. We have responsibilities. We have obligations. We have unexpected bills. And so no, maybe he didn't factor in your 2 Moscow mules and appetizing artichokes, ma'am.
Man,
probably ate some though. Let's keep it a buck. He probably dipped the chip in the artichoke. I'm definitely
gonna get me some of that.
If I'm paying for it, I'm getting some dip.
I'm definitely getting calamari
and an extra chip.
Okay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to the Undressing Room podcast presented by Macys. Now, log on to the undressingroom.com for more episodes and links to our special Macys personal shopping page where you can register to win a $250 Macys gift card. This week's keyword is savings.
Hey.